जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम रे कृष्ण बलराम रे कृष्ण जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय राधा जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय राधा जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय गौर जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय गौर जय प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद प्रभु हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रील अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की ISKCON फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंडगिरी गोवर्धन के श्री वृंदावन धाम के श्री श्री नवदीप मायापुर धाम के श्रीमती तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की गंगा जमुनामाई के गौर प्रेमानंदे हरिनाम संकीर्तन के श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम के श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर ललिता विशाखा जी के श्री श्री गौरनिताय के श्रील प्रभुपाद के all glories the assembled devotees, all glories the assembled devotees, all glories the assembled devotees, all glory all the Guru Garang ke jai श्रील प्रभुपाद की ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणी। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So today we will be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 23, The Brahmana's Wife Blessed, entitled, and text today will be read 9. Please repeat after me. इति ते भगवद-यācñāṁ śṛṇvantopi न śuśruvuḥ kṣudrāśā bhūri-karmāṇo bāliśā vṛddha-māninaḥ इति ते भगवद-यācñāṁ śṛṇvantopi न śuśruvuḥ śṛṇvantopi न śuśruvuḥ kṣudrāśā bhūri-karmāṇo bāliśā vṛddha-māninaḥ इति ते भगवद-यācñāṁ śṛṇvantopi न śuśruvuḥ kṣudrāśā bhūri-karmāṇo bāliśā vṛddha-māninaḥ iti te bhagavad-yācñāṁ śṛṇvantopi na śuśruvuḥ kṣudra-āśāḥ bhūri-karmāṇo bāliśā vṛddha-māninaḥ. Iti thus they, the brāhmaṇas, Bhagavad of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, yācñām, the supplication, śṛṇvantaḥ, hearing, api, although, na śuśruvuḥ, they did not hear, kṣudra-āśāḥ, full of petty desires, bhūri-karmāṇaḥ, entangled in elaborate ritualistic activities, bāliśā, childish fools, vṛddha-māninaḥ, presuming themselves to be wise men. Translation and purport. I will translate. The brāhmanas heard this supplication from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, yet they refused to pay heed. Indeed, they were full of petty desires and entangled in elaborate rituals. Though presuming themselves advanced in Vedic learning, they were actually inexperienced fools. Purport. These childish brāhmanas were full of petty desires, such as the desire to attain the material heaven, and therefore they could not recognize the golden transcendental opportunity offered them by the arrival of Krishna's personal boyfriends. Presently, throughout the world, people are madly pursuing material advancement and thus can't hear message of the Supreme Lord Krishna that is being broadcasted throughout the missionary activities of the Krishna consciousness movement. Times have hardly changed, and proud materialistic priests are still prevalent on the earth. This statement in this particular verse, it is like comment on the previous incident, what happened. And it appears that Sukadeva Goswami became very much upset at the rough and tough behavior of those brāhmaṇas. So, Sukadeva Goswami is condemning, blaspheming, pointing out the bad quality of brāhmaṇas. However, let us go through the whole story part. This chapter describes how the yogic brāhmaṇas wives were blessed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This chapter starts in order to first the cowherd boys, friend of Krishna, they requested Krishna that they are feeling that pain of hunger. So please Krishna, you arrange some food stuff for us. And then Sukadeva Goswami described that in order to please, desiring to please the brāhmaṇas' wives, satisfied brāhmaṇas' wives, Krishna sent the boy, go, some brāhmaṇas from Mathura, they are performing sacrifices. Brāhmaṇas, Vedic brāhmaṇas, out of fear of Kamsa, they could not perform yajna in the city Mathura. So hidingly, they came out outer skirt of Mathura city, and hidingly they are trying to hide the whereabouts of themselves from the Kamsa, and they were performing yajna. It was outer skirt of the Mathura city. Presently, if you know something about geographical condition of Mathura in Vrindavan, this place is called, still the place is existing, where wives of brāhmaṇas fed Lord Krishna, offered food stuff for Krishna. That place is called Bhattaron. And from here, if you walk straight to that place, it takes only 40 to 45 minutes in this direction. Bhattaron. So they were performing yajna, brāhmaṇas, Vedic brāhmaṇas, learned brāhmaṇas, nice brāhmaṇas. And then Krishna, here Sukadeva Goswami, Prasiddhanam, Krishna desiring to satisfy, please, blessed wives of brāhmaṇas, Krishna sent his boy, you go there and ask some food stuffs from the brāhmaṇas. So the boys went there. Sanatana Goswami or Sridhar Goswami described how come, what was the reason that Krishna wanted to please, Krishna wanted to satisfy the wives of brāhmaṇas. The text Sukadeva Goswami, bhakti-yoga, because they were devotee of Krishna. Wives of brāhmaṇas were no devotee. They have no any interest for devotional service or satisfying or pleasing Krishna. However, they were fortunate enough because their wives were great devotee of Lord. They were ever eager to hear, ever eager to see Krishna. They wanted, because while they were staying in Mathura, they have heard about Krishna's pastime, his beauty and other his pastime. So the wives of brāhmaṇas, they have long cherished desire to see Krishna. They wanted to see Krishna. So they were devotees. So Krishna wanted to please, wanted to satisfy the wives of brāhmaṇas, Yajnik Patni. So Krishna sent his boys to beg some food stop. And the boys went there. Iti vigyapito gopar bhagavan devaki suna. Next word. Prayatah. Krishna says, you please go, my dear friends. And then the boys went there. Ityadishta bhagavata gatva ācantah te tatha. So the boys approached in the sacrificial arena, Yajna Mandap, and Shukdev Goswami described the etiquettes or decency of the small boys. All boys did not go there. 4 or 5 only boys went there. All other, there are hundreds and thousands of cowherd boys were. They were remained with Krishna. But 4 or 5, couple of boys went there. Think about the boys, small boys, they are hungry, handsome, dressed as a cowherd boy. Turban, little stick in their hand, they are walking slowly. And as soon as the boys reached there, first thing, Kritanjali Puta. First of all, as soon as they approached the Yajna Mandap on the sacrificial arena, immediately they folded their hand. All. Krit Anjali Puta. First thing they did, they put their both palms together. Kritanjali, this is folding. And right in front of the Brahmana, Dandavat Patita, they fell flat in front of Brahmanas as sticks. Dandavat, you know Dandavat, what is the meaning of Dandavat? Dandavat means stick, rod, and it immediately falls. Dandavat Patita Bhuvi. See the decency, nobility, culture, behavior of the small 4 or 5 years boys. Kritanjali Dandavat Patita, folded hand, and Patita, they fall flat, fall down on the ground in front of Brahmana like danda, stick. And they spoke, Hey Bhumi-deva, they addressed the Brahmana. Such a culture behavior, such a etiquette, such a decency, such a nobility. Hey Bhumi-deva, Dev means demigod. You Brahmanas, you are walking on the earthly planet as a human being, but actually you are as good as demigod. Bhumi Deva, आप पृथ्वी के मूर्तिमान चलते फिरते देवता हैं. The Deva, celebrated Deva, they are always not visible on earthly planet. Actually in culture they are not visible. But their voice was talking, Hey Bhumi Deva, Hey पृथ्वी के मूर्तिमान देवताओं, Śṛṇvantaḥ, please hear. And they first of all introduced themselves to the Brahmanas. Krishnasya ādeshakāriṇa. Maybe you like to know about us, who we are. We are order executor of Krishna. Krishna ādeshakāriṇa. We are servant of Krishna. We are interested to execute the will of Krishna. Krishnasya adeshakarinah. Praptan, just we have arrived next here in your yajna. And also that introducing Gopan, we are by birth, by our profession, we are cow-herd boy. Our profession, we earn our livelihood by tending the cows, protecting the cows, herding the cows, grazing the cows. These are our profession. By caste or by profession, we came from the Vaishya community, and especially in Vaishya community, Yadav, we are descendants of Jadu Maharaj, Vrindavan, and we are servant of Krishna. We are order executor, will executor of Krishna. And personally, Balaram requested, Balaramji told us to come to you. Hey Bhumi Deva. They heard, okay, what could be purpose? How come you came? How we can serve you? We came here, śṛṇvanto abhidure, herding the cows, grazing the not far away from this place, very near. Odanam Rama Shito. We came here to request some food stops. We want to have some food stop because Krishna and Balaram, they are herding the cow, tending the cow, and they have come all the way from Nandgaon. This first time taking place here in Vrindavan, Nandgaon. The early morning they started grazing the cow, tending cow from Nandgaon. All the way from long distance we have come, walking, taking care of the cow, protecting the cow. And therefore, Ram and Achyuta, Krishna and Balaram, they are hungry. Maybe it appears that daytime, noontime, they are asking, requesting. So, and they are hungry, Krishna and Balaram, along with other boys, cowherd boys, they are hungry. And they have willing, they desire, they want to eat. Tayor dija udanam arthanuyadi. So we came to ask, beg. Odan. Odan means bhat. Rice. Rice is also rice, not the rice. Bhat, you understand. What is bhat? Boiled rice, cooked rice. When rice cooked, then its name is given bhat. Here a question arises, how come why they did not ask about sweet, about puri, halwa? In the brāhmaṇas of Mathura, they are very famous for eating. They love to eat Chaturvedi brāhmaṇas. They are very much expert in eating. They love eating. And without sweets, without sweet rice, they don't touch the plate. If in the plate there is no any sweet, they must, and it was festival time, festivity was going on, yajna was there. They must have prepared many things. But here the boys are asking, O Dhanam, please give us bhat. Because sweet, rasgulla, gulab jamun, people they are not very much generous to distribute this item. Even in our festival, Other thing, khichdi, the serving devotee, they very generously they give. They are generous with udar. But when comes the sweet rice or some sweet, then some limited quantity, there is a small spoons usually, and towards the end. Even the whole feast is a sponsor, still. So, but they about that giving the khichdi and rice and dal, they pose themselves that like they are ranti dev. Very, oh, take any amount. So the boys were knowing this mentality. Sweet, we will take, please give us sweet. They may or may not. So, odanam, rice, of course. Upalakshan, rice means not dry, only rice. Of course, there should be at least dal. Not more than at least one sabji should be there. So, rice, dal and sabji. And the boys could realize that their brāhmaṇas are not responding anymore. First, they pay attention. Before they ask why you came there, what would be purpose, how we can serve. And the boys revealed their intention for what purpose we have come. Then it seemed they become reluctant and they did not pay any attention. Again, the swaha, jagya, and mantra, chanting the mantra. So, a request of Krishna, yācñām, request, solicitation. Krishna did not directly ask, the solicitation or request was made through the cowherd boys, and the request was not respected. This see the etiquette, decency of the cowherd boys, and the cruelty, atrocity, or immorality, or evil, or badness of the brāhmaṇas is described in this purpose. Such a culture boys, language they use, bodily expression, they fall flat in front of them. They uphold literally, they grab the feet, bottom of the feet of the brāhmaṇas, and they say, you are Bhumi Deva, you are the demigod on earthly planet. So the decency, the etiquette, the culture, behavior, goodness of the boys were described, and here description about the cruelty, atrocity, immorality, evil and badness of brāhmana is described in this verse. Previously also described that Sukadeva Goswami became angry when Sukadeva Goswami, because Sukadeva Goswami was describing this first time, as soon as Sukadeva Goswami came to know that their request was denied, their request was not respected, Sukadeva Goswami became very much upset, angry. And this is a statement of Sukadeva Goswami. Iti te bhagavad-yācñāṁ śṛṇvanto kṣudra-āśāḥ. They have insignificant, petty desires, desiring for material. They wanted elevation in material, spiritual, so heavenly planet. It is heavenly planet, the happiness, delight of heavenly planet is not permanent. It is temporary and very little. The kṣudra-āśāḥ, they are materialistic person, desiring sense, only interested in sense gratification. Bhūri-karmāṇo, for these petty desires, for insignificant desire, for temporary desire, for the sense gratification, they are engaged. Bhūri-karmāṇo. हिंदी में कहते हैं कि एक व्यक्ति क्या dug all the hill, digging, and all the hills, mountain were dug, and what he got were small right was found. Such a great endeavor and result insignificant. So bhūri-karmāṇo, elaborate activity. They erect big pandal, collect big ingredient, and perform sacrifices. For what? For temporary, petty sense gratification. They are not interested in spirituality, simply for material act, material delight. With material delight, as always, it is temporary, it is not forever. Vṛddha-māninaḥ, bāliśā. Sukadeva Goswami told, bāliśā, the childish mentality, child. Though they are vṛddha-māninaḥ, they are thinking that vṛddha-māninaḥ, jnana vṛddha. They assume themselves, they think themselves, they pretend that we are jnana vṛddha. We are learned, we know the scriptures, we know the conclusion of Vedic literature. They are thinking, they are proud about their learning, their shastra gyan, but actually they are not learned. They were scholarly educated fools. Sukadeva Goswami, vṛddha-māninaḥ, they were, this word is scholarly educated stupid. Sukadeva Goswami, really, it seems that sitting on the Ganga, he become very much upset at the behavior of those brāhmanas, cruelty of the brāhmanas, atrocity of the brāhmanas. Vṛddha-māninaḥ, they are thinking the vṛddha, jnana vṛddha. They are thinking that we are elevated in knowledge, shastra knowledge, but actually they were scholarly, educated, stupid, childish fools. Sukadeva says, I am not, simply I am translating that. Durāśā, which in Sanskrit very bad word for any person. Durāśā, bhūri-karmāṇo, bāliśā, childish mentality. They are not ignorant. Vṛddha-māninaḥ, they are thinking that we are jnana vṛddha. Not vṛddha means not the old. They are thinking that we are very learned, we know the conclusion of Shastra. We have studied, we have gone through the Gurukul, we have taken different type of initiation, sanskara, purification. So, here in brief, in this verse, and previous verse, decency, etiquette, culture, behavior of cowherd boys are described. Same time, decency, what they call cruelty. You had no any courtesy. They don't know any etiquette, how to behave. And then boys return, what they can do. Very celebrated verse in this chapter talks about that when Sarvam Prabhu was giving class, they talk about one of the most important verse of this chapter, as well as one of the most important verse of the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, or the Vedic literature, that describes the beauty of Krishna, how Krishna is beautiful. I will read that they have talked about. So the boys returned because their request was not respected. Brāhmaṇas denied to give any food stuff. They became very much disappointed, came back, and they requested Krishna, you send, we did our level best to convince them for food stuff, but the Brāhmanas did not give. So then Krishna requested, if Brāhmana, please you go to the wives of brahmanas. They are very devotees and they will give you. And then the boys again second time went. They did not go to brahmanas, rather they went to the wives of brahmanas. As soon as the wives of brahmanas heard about Krishna and also heard that near about Krishna is here, we are near about in this forest, and then become very much jubilant. They were, of course, they were ever eager to see Krishna. This was their long cherished desire to see, behold the beauty of Krishna. So today the golden opportunity, transcendental opportunity for them was there. So they came. When they came, Jamuno Pavane Ashok Pallav Mandite. They saw from distance the Ashok Ban. And this is one of the Upavan of Vrindavan. In Braj there are 12 forests and 12 Upavan, like Kokila Ban, and there are many forests here in Vrindavan. Very famous where people go, bushes are there. Next to Radha Raman temple, big boundary. Nidhiban. This is Upavan. Vrindavan, and within Vrindavan a small Upavan. So Jamuno, the Kadam Upavan, Ashokban, and they saw from distance Vicharantam. They saw Krishna was moving around. Britam Gopah, surrounded by cowherd boys. Sagrajam, and Balaram was also there. Daddurush Istriya. Those wives of brahmanas, they saw first time, they have stents. Eagerly they wanted to see this farm while they were staying in Mathura. And they saw, as soon as they saw, a thrill ran through their whole body. उनके शरीर में रोमांच हो गया. As soon as they saw such a, they have heard but they have never seen such a beauty. They thrill, romanch ran through their body. And their eyes become wet. Tears started to flow freely, wetting their whole existence wet. The bliss they experience, no tongue on the earthly planet is able to describe their bliss, what the first time they saw. And then what they saw, Krishna was standing beneath one tree, and the tree was a Ashok tree. Usually when they see the painting of Krishna is standing underneath a Kadamba tree. Kadamba tree, two trees, of course there are many different types of trees in Vrindavan. Two are considered to be extremely auspicious, nice. One is Tamal. Tamal tree is very dear to Krishna. And Kadamba is Tamal is very dear to Srimati Radharani. Because color of Tamal resembles the color of Krishna. So Tamal is very dear to Srimati Radharani. And Kadamba is very dear to Krishna. Because its flowers resemble the color of Srimati Radharani. But at that particular day, Krishna was standing beneath the Ashok tree. And then they saw Shyamam. As soon as they saw Krishna, the color of Krishna was blackish blue or bluish black. It was not exact black, but bluish black or blackish blue. Shyamam. You must understand here, whole description, eyes are the eyes of brahmanas. And words, शब्द किसके हैं? सुखदेव गोस्वामी. सुखदेव को आँख है ब्राह्मणों का पत्नियों का आँख, eyes are brāhmaṇas eye and words, शब्द are Sukadeva Goswami. Hiranya Paridhim. Next they pay attention that Krishna was dressed in yellow garden, yellowish dress. And such a yellow, it seems that it was lightning, blue like cloud, fresh monsoon cloud blue, and yellowish paridhan dress was pitambar. It appears that together lightning and clouds, they are stuck together. Hiranya Paridhi. Of course, molten gold itself has borrowed the color from Krishna's pitambar. Such a brilliant Hiranya Paridhim Varnamalya. And Krishna, they saw that around their neck there was a garland, flower garland, Vaijayanti Mala. So the wise of brāhmaṇas, first they pay attention, they saw description of the whole body of Krishna, color of Krishna, beauty of Krishna, and then Paridhan, his dress, and then Vanamalya Varaha, Vanmala, Vaijayanti Mala. You know, Vaijayanti Mala, very celebrated Vaijayanti Mala. Usually, approximate every day, it is regular routine of Srimati Radharani and Gopis. Radharani get up early morning, comes to Surya Kund, Bharna, you know Surya Kund, worshipable deity of Srimati Radharani, Kula Devata is Surya Dev. Comes to Surya Kund, worship Surya Dev. And approximately 9 o'clock, 9:30, Radharani comes to Kusum Sarovar. And there they collect flower. Kusum means flower. This Sarovar, Kusums are named after the flower. So a lot of flower grows. In the kund itself, in lake and nearby lakes also, different type of. So there seems Radharani along with the Sakhi, they collect flowers. And they use their all expertise. They don't spare any expertise to make their garland beautiful and nice, lovely. So that Krishna was, there was garland around his neck, it was Vaijayanti Mala, and prepared by the hand, by the finger of Srimati Radharani in Kusum Sarovar, near Kusum Sarovar area. And in the Vaijayanti Mala means there should be at least five type different flowers should be there. Kund, Mandar, Parijat, Tulsi and Kamal. At least 5. And they should be in different color. At least 5 type of flowers, and they should be in different color. Vanamalya, they saw that Krishna, there was garland around the neck of Krishna and Varha and peacock feather in his hair. Krishna has put dhatu, there are many things, I have to be little brief. And they saw that Krishna was standing next to Krishna, left side was one cowherd boy. Śṛṇvam was there, and Krishna rested his left arm on the shoulder of Śṛṇvama. Śṛṇvama was standing left side of Krishna, and Krishna placed his left hand on his shoulder, and his right hand, he was whirling, moving a lotus flower. Vinashta hasta mitarena dhunan babjam. Many other things, I have to be brief, it is really many descriptions. And Krishna was smiling. So in this Drishtva, so when those wives of brāhmaṇas saw Krishna, So they become very much pleased, and about their joy or the bliss they experience, no tongue can tell, no tell or describe. Nobody. So this was the situation. The climax of, and then Krishna addressed as soon as Krishna saw those brāhmaṇas, and welcome, Swagatam O Mahabhaga. O wives of Brahmana, I welcome you here. Swagatam O Mahabhaga Ashyatam Karvam Kim. My dear wives of Brahmanas, I extend our welcome here in Ashokavan, in Vrindavan. What we can do for you, how I can serve you. This was the word of Krishna. You came here, welcome to you. How can I serve? How? I am very much eager to please you. Please don't hesitate. Please reveal your desire, and we are ready here to fulfill your desire, satisfy you. So here I should do this description. Basically, Krishna's beauty described. Such his existence was like a abode of beauty, such a charming, beautiful, cute, attractive, sweet, handsome, enchanting Krishna's personality is there. So any comment or any question, you are welcome. Okay, thank you.
Took sannyas, and he was going to tour South India. He didn't want anybody to come with him because he wanted to follow all the rules and regulations very strictly, very meticulously as a sannyasi. He seemed to be very keen on following very strictly the varnashram duties and the regulations. So if the brāhmanas were performing duties according to Vedic instruction, their direction, they were thinking themselves to be religious. So, where do we, the gopis their wives were more spontaneous and had this love. But people in general should follow rules and regulations. Even Prabhupada, when he opened this temple, he had certain mantras and certain procedures done. So, we're kind of beating up on the brāhmanas who didn't recognize Krishna. They were also trying to do their duties.
No. Towards the end of this chapter, describe their fortune of the brāhmanas. Not that forever they did not recognize. Towards the end, when they saw the devotion, when the wives they went there and returned, such a blissful, as they are repenting, and towards the end, they got the spontaneous attraction, devotion for Krishna. So, usually we must follow rules and regulations. Usually it does. When we strictly, nicely follow rules and regulations, outcome certainly we realize the self, transcendental realization. This is Vedaisya sarvair ahameva vidya, throughout the but here, especially in the beginning of this chapter, Sridhar Swami talks about Krishna, how come that such a highly elevated brāhmanas, highly qualified one, because Krishna wanted to show the higher position of their wife. So for that reason, in beginning, Krishna, like it was intention, Krishna Yog Maya work that the brāhmanas did not recognize. So it was a special mercy that Lord Krishna wanted to show the higher status, higher position of the wives. They were highly elevated brāhmanas, but higher than their status were. For that reason, for time being, in middle of the chapter, but towards the end it has come, they are very much glorious. They were equally enlightened as their own wife. However, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was enacting, so though he was Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he was acting, playing like a sannyasi. So in that time, strictly everything he was doing. And we must follow rules and regulations of the Shastra. Not that these brāhmaṇas, of course, brāhmaṇas towards the end, they did not. So we should become, why we should follow rules and regulations? If it is not giving the outcome, not fruit is not, end is not blissful, then why we should? What is the wastage of? No, this is mentality. That is the reason why Lord Chaitanya, as you mentioned, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally, when he was acting, since Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was your Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lok Sangra, in order to teach the lesson, in order to educate people in a general, even someone is elevated to the end, a God attraction, bhakti for Krishna, still that person is supposed to follow the rules and regulations very strictly, even in Paramahansa avastha. Otherwise, Yaded acharti shesha tattat devo tarojana shayat parmanam kurte lokas tadunu barte. People in general, how they will be benefited if the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not have followed rules and regulations of a sannyas, then why we should follow? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so strict. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not utter the word stri, woman. He was the word for woman, stri. He did not utter. Never this word came out from the lips of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, stri. He was telling instead of stri another similar meaning, prakriti. Prakriti means he will never see some woman is walking. She will not say this woman is walking. In nature, prakriti is walking. Prakriti. So, the brāhmanas could not, at least beginning part, in beginning, they could not recognize the supremacy of Lord Krishna and same time they be engaged. This doesn't mean that we should abandon, we should give up rules and regulations, because immediately or at least superficially did not give the outcome.
It is the nature process. Even to get attracted to beauty. We hear the beauty of Krishna many times, but still our heart is not getting attracted to beauty.
नित्य सिद्ध कृष्ण प्रेम साध्य को भुनोय श्रवण आदि शुद्ध चीते करय उदय. Attraction, devotion, pure devotion, attraction for Krishna is there eternally existing in our heart. It is not that you have to borrow, it is not that you have to export, you are not to earn, it is already there with you. Full-fledged attraction, bhakti is there, but it is in a dormant condition, a sleeping condition. How we can revive that? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally described Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem. Krishna Prem Nitya Siddha. It is there. साध्य को ऐसा नहीं कि इसको प्राप्त नहीं करना है, already it is there, सिद्ध है. Siddha Mahatma means he has already there. Not that we have to make endeavor to get it. How we can revive it? How we can awaken it? Śṛṇvan ādi śuddha chite. Śṛṇvan is beginning. Śṛṇvan and Kirtan. When our heart is purified by Śṛṇvan and Kirtan, the full beauty, all opulence, all sweetness, it would be revealed in the heart of the devotees. But you must go the Śṛṇvan Adi. Śṛṇvan in beginning. Adi means the extra Śṛṇvan Kirtan, Śṛṇvanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Darshyam Sakhyam Atmani. By execution of devotional service, our Krishna Prem would be manifest, or it will be revealed from within, because it is already existing eternally there. So I thought, okay, आपका.
From whom did these wives of brāhmaṇas heard? Because you said that they heard about Krishna. Like, they heard about Krishna from Radha.
I was talking to the Brahmana, when the Brahmana's wife were staying in Vrindavan. Vrindavan not far from here, Krishna was front. So many people go back and forth, collecting fruits and flowers. They are going some vendors selling the products, forest products, they are always talking about. So the Brahmanas I heard, long heard. Every day they were asking, where Krishna was, what type of dress he was putting. So they have heard, Brahmana's wife. Brahmanas also heard, but little. But eagerly those wives of Brahmanas heard about Krishna. And they long cherished desire to see. And today, they got that opportunity. Okay, see you. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की श्रील प्रभुपाद की